Hello, folks, and welcome back to Speaking from the Heart, the podcast where we journey together through life, work, and faith, rooted in the gospel and growing in spirit. I'm so glad you've joined me today, and today's episode is all about the power of silence. Hi, I'm Richard Fontenay, your host for today. We live in a world that's constantly buzzing. Emails fill our inbox, notifications, meetings, news, opinions, and a lot of noise. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful spiritual tools we have in business, in our work, and in life is silence? Yes, I'm serious. Not just the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness. The kind of silence that gives us space to listen, to think, and to hear the voice of God. Let's put this into context with a quote from Thomas Merton. Quote, he says, "The speech of God is silence. His word is solitude." End of quote. Let's explore this together. Silence isn't just for monks or spiritual retreats. It's for everyday folks like you and me. And it's not about doing nothing. It's really about creating space. When we step away from the noise, even for a moment, we allow our inner world to speak. And more importantly, we make room for God's voice. In our work, we're encouraged to always be doing, always moving, solving, fixing. But here's the thing. Silence invites us to pause before reacting, to respond with wisdom, and to make space for creativity and clarity. In business, great leaders often speak of making white space, time to think deeply without distraction. And here we are reminded that silence isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Let's anchor this further within Scripture. Remember in Gospel of Mark chapter 1, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Now, Jesus regularly took time away from the crowds, away from the demands of his ministry, just to be still, to pray, and to listen to his God. He wasn't escaping, he was recharging, reconnecting, and that silence became his strength. Now, if Jesus needed silence, so do we. Let me give you a couple of stories to bring this home. Let's say you're a team leader in a busy government department. Yes, I'm saying a government department because I know many people who are dedicated to doing the common good. Let's say your days used to be packed with back-to-back meetings, and you often made snap decisions under pressure. But after attending a faith and leadership retreat, you start incorporating 5 minutes of silence before every major decision. You turn off your phone, close your laptop, and simply breathe. And you listen inward. You silently pray. What do you think will happen? I suggest your decisions will become more thoughtful, Your team will notice that you are calmer. You will begin to make fewer errors. And most importantly, you will feel God's guidance more clearly. Now that's the power of silence. Here's another real-world moment. Now, James is a cook in a busy restaurant. He faced serious tensions with his sous chef. Instead of reacting with anger, which, let's face it, is the easy road, he chose silence. He didn't lash out. He stepped away, prayed for a few minutes, and returned with a calm, collected spirit. That silence gave him space to de-escalate instead of escalate. The result? A peaceful resolution and a stronger work relationship. And the meals got out on time as well. So silence isn't passive. It's strategic and it's sacred. Now here's how silence nurtures our spirit. Spiritually speaking, silence helps us hear God whispering. It allows us to reflect deeply on Scripture, quiets our ego, and it lets us be present in the moment. It also teaches us discipline, to listen instead of interrupting, to slow down instead of racing ahead, to be attuned to the divine prompting us every day. And you know, this is very hard to do sometimes. I know, because this is me in many cases. So here's what we can do after this podcast. We can take 5 minutes and reflect on today's message. What insight, word, or phrase resonated with us? What touched our heart? And what can we do to turn this teaching into action or enrich our business, work, or life? And how could we share this reflection with others? Now let me know in the comments. I would love to hear how silence speaks to you. And don't forget, if today's message stirred something in you, subscribe to this podcast, share it with a friend or colleague, and leave a few comments. It helps us grow this community of faith-based learners and leaders. And be sure to join us for our next episode when we will explore the shadows of life. Now, thank you for joining me today. Keep doing your best as you search for your true self. I'm Richard Fontenay signing off. See you next week, if not before. Bye now.